How dare you greet that man? You must be having an affair with him.
Daddy, no, I was just being polite.
Polite? Don't lie to me, Amara. I'm not lying.
You're being paranoid.
I provide everything you need in this house as my wife. Food, clothes, everything, and you still flirt with other men outside?
No, Daniel, that's not true.
Liar! I will deal with you!
Oh, God. How did I end up in this confresh? This is too much for me.
He was a perfect husband in church, but at home, a monster. Everyone admired their marriage. On the outside, Daniel and Amara looked like a testimony. Every Sunday, they walked into church, hand in hand, slow, graceful, intentional, not just walking, they were performing. Everyone admired their marriage in church. One church member said, "Look at them, this is what a godly marriage should look like." Another church member said, "If I marry, I want a man like Daniel." Amara heard this word, she always did, and every time she forced a smile. Daniel wasn't just a husband, she was respected reverend. He led prayers, he counseled couples, he spoke about love, patience and submission. And Amara, she sat beside him, silent.
Why is my food not yet ready?
I did not know you wanted the food ready by that time. I thought you said you will come back late.
Shut up, lazy woman.
The first time it happened, it didn't look like violence, it looked like correction. And that was how it started. Not with shouting, not with hitting, but with control disguised as concern. Weeks later, the first slap came. After the first beating, time froze, her ears rang, her thoughts scattered. Daniel will always ask her, "Why do you always make me angry?" He wouldn't say sorry. Not I was wrong, but somehow it became her fault. And just like that, a pattern was born. Sunday came again, and just like magic, the monster disappeared. His voice was powerful, convincing, holy, perfect posture, perfect smile, and perfect illusion. Everyone in church told Amara, "Amara, you're so blessed." And Amara will always say thank you with a faint smile. But blessings don't leave bruises. Daniel didn't just hurt her, he isolated her, slowly and strategically.
I do not like your sister. She fills your head with nonsense.
She's just concerned about me.
No, she is jealous of what we have.
And Amara fell for the trap. She didn't see it as an isolation. She saw it as her husband looking out for her. Her calls to her sister became very fewer. Messages stopped. Visits disappeared. Daniel will always tell her a married woman should focus on her home. And Amara obeyed because disobedience had consequences. The hardest part wasn't the pain, it was the confusion. Because sometimes Daniel was so gentle. He would pray with her, hold her hand, call her blessed. And in those moments, Amara doubted her reality.
My queen, I brought you something.
For me?
Of course, you deserve it. You are a virtuous woman.
Thank you, Daniel. It's beautiful.
Amara will always say to herself, maybe he's just stressed. Maybe I provoked him. Maybe I need to be better. That's how control works. It doesn't just break you, it rewrites your mind. One night, everything changed.
You embarrassed me today.
What did I do?
You didn't greet pastor's wife properly.
I did. I just... Stop talking!
That day, her body froze, her heart raced. Daniel came back shouting at her, "You are becoming disrespectful." And Amara said, "I am trying." But Daniel would not agree. He shouted, "No, you are failing." Then came the shove. Harder than before, she hit the wall. But this time, something inside her didn't break. It woke up. Days later, in church, the pastor preached about the truth. What is hidden in darkness will be brought to light, the pastor said. Amara felt it, deep and unavoidable. Amara said to herself, "This is not love." But Daniel, observing Amara's reaction, gripped her hand and said, "Control yourself." That grip was no longer protection, it was a cage. That night, she sat alone, in silence. If I stay, I will disappear. And for the first time, she chose herself. Her hands trembled as she picked up her phone. She scrolled and stopped at her sister's contact. She hesitated. Fear screamed in her head. Amara whispered to herself, "What if he finds out?" Then she pressed the call. Her sister answered. Amara broke down crying. "I need help," she said. And then, after that discussion with her sister, they started making plans. Because leaving an abusive marriage does not happen overnight. It requires careful planning. Slowly and carefully, she started planning. Small steps, quiet move, hidden strength. Weeks later, she was gone. Not missing, not lost, free. In her small apartment, which was simple, quiet, and safe, Amara sat down for the first time and she smiled genuinely at herself. For the first time in years, she could breathe. Amara got a job, not very glamorous, but hers.
Thank you.
You are doing well, Amara, her manager told her, and Amara smiled genuinely. That smile was different. It was real. Months passed, she grew stronger, confident, and alive again. You look happier, her friends told her. Amara answered, am I? But one fateful day, Daniel showed up at her doorstep. You think you can just leave me just like that? Amara answered calmly, I didn't leave, I just escaped.
Daniel, I won't be controlled.
Daniel, who could not bear it anymore, shouted at her, you belong to me.
Finding my strength.
And Amara, standing her ground, told him, no, I never did.
Can't go on, Daniel. You're suffocating me.
I'm protecting you.
And after much argument, Daniel realized that Amara was no longer the woman he could control.
Love isn't control.
And in that moment, he lost not just control, not just power, but he lost her.